Good evening, everyone, and welcome to The Leadership Edge, a show where we present personalities who are good at innovating and solving problems and being good leaders at their field and at their workplace. I'm your host for tonight, Jet Ramos, educational consultant, motivational speaker, corporate communications associate, and radio host. Tonight, we'll be talking about Agile Business Leadership. And to introduce to you our guest, I'd like you all to know, my dear viewers, that he is an owner and manager of several small businesses, including an ad agency, AdWolf Incorporated, and a sales management consultancy firm, which is Sales Edge Pro. And he's also a sales professional. He's a leading sales management consultant, author, TV host, and motivational speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, let us please all welcome our host, our guest and co-host for tonight. Kuya Dino, sige, ano na. Sorry, nagbakal ako.
It's okay.
Sige.
All right. Want to take another? Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Sige. Sige.
Breathe.
Maingay kasi. Sige. Okay na ako. Sige. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to... Ay, hindi. Nakita yung sleeve ko eh. Sige, diba? Sige, ulit. Kita ang haba ng sleeve ko. Sige. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Leadership Edge, a show where we talk about personalities who are involved in collaborating, innovating, and proposing solutions to common problems in the workplace. I'm your host for tonight, Jet Ramos, educational consultant, motivational speaker, corporate communications associate, teacher, and radio host. Tonight we'll be talking about agile leadership, and to make it more worthwhile for you, my dear viewers, I'll introduce to you our guest for tonight. He's the owner and manager of a series of small businesses, including an ad agency, AdWolf Incorporated, and a sales management consultancy firm, Sales Edge Pro. He's also a leading sales management consultant, television host, public speaker, trainer, and soft skills expert. Ladies and gentlemen, let us please all welcome Mr. Enrique Salvador Boom San Agustin.
Hello.
I'll give him a round of applause. Hi.
Hello, and well, no, I always say good morning. It's always morning for salespeople.
Why is it so? Kuya Boom.
Why? Because you're always alive in the morning, and you know like it's the first day. You're ready to work. So salespeople, we have this tradition. We always say good morning, even if it's midnight, even if it's afternoon. We always say good morning so that it sort of energizes us.
I didn't know that. Where'd you learn that?
Well, that was way back in the 90s, really. and salespeople ever since. You go to real estate, to many outfits. Salespeople, when we greet each other, it's always good morning.
Ooh, now I know, because I'm not a salesperson myself, but at least I've learned a thing or two.
Yeah. So good morning.
Good morning to Kuya Boom, and good morning to also to our dear viewers and followers of the Leadership Edge. And are you ready now for our show? Yeah.
I'm ready. Are you?
Very much, of course, because you're ready. I'm also ready.
By the way, it's the seventh in the series, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Wow, 7 already. I'm number 7. I'm lucky number 7. Great.
Ooh, I didn't know 7 was a lucky number. I thought it was 8.
Oh, well, no, 7's a lucky number. It was the original lucky number. And then when the Feng Shui stuff came in, 8 became a lucky number here also. But basically, that was the original. That's the Western lucky number. But you know what my real lucky number is?
What?
13.
13. Huh?
Yeah.
13.
Yeah, it's my lucky number.
Opposites. I'll try to understand. Mine is 8.
Okay. Anyway, so let's. Do you want me to? I can start the slideshow already, right?
Sure. And after
Okay.
that, I have some questions for you because I'm new in this topic.
Good. I
Yeah,
like
and I
you.
like to learn more about it.
Yeah, hold on. There we go. How'd you like the slides? There. All right. So do you see the
Ready?
slide? Are you seeing it already? Jet, are you seeing it?
Yes, I see it. It's clear.
Okay, great, great, great.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
so
ready to listen too.
hold on. We're going to be talking. We're going to be talking about agile business leadership. So I have a little intro here for everyone, and let me just say again, good morning. And for those who didn't catch it, my name is Boom, and I'm a sales management consultant. Yes, I am the top in the country. No, 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 no use hiding it right now. Okay. Um, and right now we're talking in this series for Speakers Bureau. Okay, and I'm really happy about this. I'm really happy about this series right now because it just gets to you. So now we're going to talk about agile business leadership, and I'd like to ask, well, Jet, you and maybe whoever is listening to this video, what does the word agile mean?
Um, it means quick,
Quick,
alert.
alert. What? Yeah.
Yeah.
What animal comes to mind when you say agile?
Oh, cheetah.
Cheetah,
Yeah. Even
gazelles.
an ostrich. Yeah.
Yeah, gazelles.
Agile when it
Basic.
kicks.
Yeah,
Even a
because
cricket.
let's look at the gazelle. When danger comes, what does it do?
Well, it runs
It
and
runs.
sometimes it fights.
Yeah, and then when it's about to pounce, they change directions very
Yeah.
quickly. Yeah, you notice how they change directions, right? That is agility. And agility is something we have to have in leadership. This is not a new concept. This is an old concept. The thing
Hmm.
is, not many people take notice of it until crisis happens.
I
Okay.
haven't encountered it, so
Uh-huh.
I'm interested to learn more about it.
All right. Let's do this. So now the question is, since we know what agility is, what is business agility? What is how do you apply that concept of a gazelle evading all these things? What do you think it means, business agility? Okay, so I'll give you a little time to think about that right now. And for the audience, if you're thinking about it, you're probably saying it's the ability to dodge, dodge all these crisis situations, right? But did you know that? Let's go back to the gazelle again. How did the gazelle dodge all these dangerous situations? How are they able to do that? Okay, how are they able to do that? Because from birth, they were taught to do that. From birth, they were given the opportunity to learn to do that. Okay, and eventually it became instinct to them. So let's see, how does that apply to business? Hmm, think about it. Think about it just for a little while. Okay, you have the answer to it? If you don't, let's play a little game. Okay? Are you ready to play a game? Hey, Jet, join me in this one. You
Yeah,
ready? You
sure.
ready? All right.
Very much.
So it's called matchstick math. Okay, matchstick math. Okay. By the way, I'm
Mhm.
really proud of this game because I created all the virtual matchsticks myself. Right. So
Wow.
so let's take a look at it. Let's play a game using matchsticks, and here are my matchsticks. You like them?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the
Uh,
question. Here's the question. Moving only two matchsticks, what is the biggest or largest three-digit number you can make? Hmm. Dun,
wait.
dun,
Let me
dun.
let me try it.
Okay.
I think I can make 600 or 8.
600?
I think
No.
it's 800.
800?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
I,
check let's check. Okay, let's check. And for you in the audience that's listening to this, what's your answer? I'm sure you're taking your time and pausing the video to get this done, right? But go ahead. What's your answer? Okay, so Jet
100.
says 800. Let's see. Oh, moving only 2 matchsticks, I can make it
Oh my goodness.
999. Okay,
At least I
let's put it back to the original 508. And I have another challenge for you, Jet and the audience, okay?
yeah.
Moving only 2 matchsticks again. What is the largest 5-digit number that you can make?
Largest 5-digit. I've got to think about it. Oh. Well, it's kind of hard to think about it.
Yeah, it's easy. Don't worry. But okay,
Um,
so
I
you
think
want to think?
it's
Okay,
61,000.
61,000. Okay,
Just my wild guess.
I don't see 61. That's oh, that's a wild guess, right? Just
Yeah.
moving 2 matchsticks, by the way. So moving 2 matchsticks, there's not. No, it's not
Just like
61.
gambling away my last $2.
Okay, for you guys out there watching this, what is for you? What is the largest 5-digit number you can make?
Brace yourselves.
All right. So, are you ready to find out what? Okay, if you're not yet ready and you're still solving it, just pause the video. All right.
Yeah.
But if you're ready to find out, here it goes.
I think we're ready.
There it goes. 51,181.
Oh,
Cool, right? Cool.
I didn't think
Okay.
about it.
Okay, let's go back again to the original position. And this time, my last question. What is the largest number you can come up with? Just moving 2 matchsticks. 2 matchsticks. Okay, I'll wait. Okay. Yeah, I'll wait. Can do that, right? All right. All right. Okay, Jet, what is the largest number? Or do I even have to ask you right there?
It would be, I don't know.
Okay.
But let's
All
find
right.
out.
For you guys in the audience, I'm going to show it now, but if you still want to solve it, you can pause the video again. All right. I'm going to show it in 3, 2, 1, go. 5 to the 118th power.
Oh, I didn't think about it. I'm not a math major.
Okay. Now, this is a fun game. Well, I had fun. I had fun. You know, my definition of fun is making people
Yeah.
suffer. So,
Kind of
yeah,
slow
that's,
though, but it's okay. I enjoyed
yes.
it though.
Oh, good, good, good. Okay, so my question is this. What did we learn from this activity?
Mm. So,
Ah,
dear viewers, think about it.
and remember my original question. What is business agility?
Yeah.
Okay, think
Think
about it.
about it,
What
dear
what did
viewers.
you
You'll
learn
get
from
something
this?
from it.
Okay, so basically, the general learning for this activity is that even with limited resources and even with the same processes, because I used only the same process, right? 2 matchsticks, move only 2 matchsticks. That's the same process. We had only limited resources, a limited number of matches. We came up with 3 different results, and each result was higher than the other. Okay, so that means that you don't have to change your processes, not everything. Okay, you just have to change the way you use them. Like here in this training, like what we're doing right now, here in this little talk we're having. Used to be, I would be in front of an audience, talking to people, making sure that everybody, making sure that we have coffee and everything, and engaging with an audience. But right now, I'm not. I have to pre-record this for an hour talk, right? And this is, I'm still using the same resources, my computer, my lessons, everything. I'm also using the same process. I still have my slides. I still have um, a video presentation. I have all this. I still have my voice, yet I come up with different results. Okay, and I'm adjusting to the situation. So now I go back to the original question: what is business agility? And here's the answer. Okay, so Jet, would you like to read that for us?
So business agility is the ability to adapt quickly to radical market change in order to create more opportunities for business growth.
Wow. Okay, I have a question for everyone in the audience as well. Okay, what is the operative word in the sentence above? Or what is the most important word in the sentence above? Okay, I'll
Let's
wait.
think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Read between the lines.
Okay, you can pause this video if you don't want to know the answer yet, if you're still guessing it. But I'm going to give you the answer in 3, 2, 1.
Whoa.
Jet already mentioned that earlier. Quickly.
Yeah.
You see, you're not agile if you're just adaptive. If you adapt to certain situations, but you adapt slowly, that's not agility. Okay? You have to adapt quickly to radical market change, and that's not an easy thing to do. It doesn't happen overnight, meaning you have to train yourself, your senses, everything to do it. So now you're in a crisis. We're in a crisis. We have a pandemic. What do we do? What do we do in this pandemic? Okay.
Well,
Because we didn't train ourselves to be agile. Oh no, we didn't train ourselves yet. I think we should stop this now. No, no, no. Just kidding. Just kidding. We didn't, we didn't train ourselves to be agile.
we
But
didn't.
there's still a solution. Okay? You can still apply agility to your business. Let's see how. So, let's first find out what is agility in business. Let's look at the process of agility in business, okay? The agile business process. It's a simple process because if it were not simple, it wouldn't be agile. If it were not simple, it wouldn't be quick, okay? So it's a simple process, but it takes a lot of innovation. So let's take a look at the process itself, right? First, select, assign, and empower a team. Okay, because you already have the resources in your company. You already have people in your company who are agile and who can contribute to a business agility, right? So, excuse me. Now, while they're there, what happens? Okay, what process do they take? There's a process to it. First of all, here's the starting point. Now, the first thing they do is to discover, meaning what? They're going to try to discover what's happening, to discover new systems, to discover different systems, to discover. It's a journey of discovery. Now, this shouldn't take long. If your people are innovative, the discovery process can happen in the same day as the entire process. Okay? Now, what they will discover may not always be applicable, right? So what do they do next? They build a prototype. What do you mean by build a prototype? If it's a system, you can build a system. This is a prototype right here. What I'm doing right now is a prototype. What Speakers Bureau right now is doing with these leadership sessions online, okay, this is a prototype, okay? Meaning we're already trying to apply it. In fact, it's a free session. So it's a prototype. We're using you as test subjects. Oh, wait, that came out wrong. We're using you as test subjects. No, we don't mean you're guinea pigs. That came out wrong, Jet. What do I do? No, no, just
It's all
kidding.
right.
Okay, it's okay. So we're
Slip of
using.
the tongue, but we have to be agile.
Yeah, we have to be all right. But don't worry, don't worry. You're going to be guinea pigs who will benefit from this. All right. So now, after you do that, there's a third step, which is evaluate. Okay, did we do the right thing? Maybe later, when Speakers Bureau goes back and evaluates all of these things, they'll say to themselves, okay, maybe we can do this better. Maybe we can do this better. Maybe this portion can be charged. Maybe this can be done this way, right? So you evaluate the entire process. And then after you evaluate it, after you evaluate the process, the next step is to adjust. Make the necessary adjustments to the process. Don't give up on a process, just make the necessary adjustments to it. So we used to do whole day training. Maybe that's not feasible online anymore. Maybe it becomes boring. So what do? You come up with maybe half day training. Okay? And maybe your 8-hour training modules before can be cut down into 2 half-day trainings. That's an adjustment. Maybe. Okay? Maybe something else can be done. And then you go back to the process of discovery. You go back to the process of discovering what you're going to do about it. Okay? So, and then you build another prototype. And then you continue this infinite loop. Okay, you continue this infinite loop until you find the proper solution. And then you end. Once the solution is found, you end. But you don't end, you don't end being agile. You just end the process. Okay? If it takes you as much time as you need, okay? If it takes you as many tries as you need, just do it. So agility is, well, agility basically is about creating prototypes and adjusting. Prototypes, adjust. Prototypes, adjust. Now, I'll tell you a story. We have an activity. We use this activity called the Marshmallow Challenge. You can look on the internet about this activity, the Marshmallow Challenge. And usually it's about building a tower using spaghetti noodles. Of course, uncooked spaghetti noodles. You build a tower, and then you put a marshmallow on top. Okay? Now, what happens is once you put the marshmallow on top, the tower begins to fall because the builders, the participants, don't anticipate the weight of the marshmallow. They don't. Okay? They think that the tower will be able to support it. When they put the marshmallow on top, whoa, it falls down. Okay? For most participants, at least. Now, a series of tests were done in different countries, in different places, and they test 2 groups in particular, business students and kindergarten students. And do you know what the results were? The kindergarten students had higher towers. They averaged 22 inches, whereas the business students, their highest tower averaged about 10 inches. Okay? And the kindergarten students did it faster. How did they do that? Why? What was the process? The kindergarten students used the agile process, while the business students used, they built straight up and then put the marshmallow in there, which is what most people do. But the kindergarten students, because they were always curious, they would put 3 sticks first, then put the marshmallow. It's standing. Then they said, let's build it higher. So they made it higher, they put the marshmallow again. And then they said, let's build it higher. Okay, they build it higher, they put the marshmallow again. The process is agile. And every time, they kept getting higher and higher. And it worked. While the business students focused on building one big tower and then putting the marshmallow, the kids focused on making small towers, and then making it higher, building up from what they learned in their first attempt. And they did it really fast. Okay? That is the agile process. It's about focusing on the end result all the time, keeping in mind, the marshmallow represents the crisis. This represents the pandemic. Okay? And then everything you built, once you put the marshmallow, it goes tumbling down. So if that represents crisis or future crisis to come, something that's going to happen to you, then the agile process is the best way to go. Okay? So it means you have to present results not every month end, but maybe every day. Always ask for your team, okay, give me a result today. What type of result do we need today? Break it down into smaller result areas. Okay, I need a result today. This is the result I'm looking for today. And every day for the next 30 days, you get results. And you'll see that at the end of the month, you're probably hitting more results than if you were just to look for results at the end of the month. Now that's what I mean by agile. Okay. All right.
Excuse
Any
me.
questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Does it also mean that you have to be specific about your results and expectations instead of being not specific at all? Like you say, I just want results. That's it.
Now, yeah, you have to be very specific. Thank you for the question, Jet. You have to be very, very specific. Um, like I said, the end result at the end of the month is still there, but then you break it down into results you want to find daily. Eventually, you see the mistake. Okay, why daily? Because when you don't achieve a result for the day, then you see, okay, there's a mistake here. Maybe we can adjust. Like the kindergarten students. Okay, let's adjust, and then you adjust so that you're able to hit the results at the end of the month. That's what that means. But yes, you're very right, Jet. You have to be very specific about it. Okay, so if you have questions, just send your questions to Speakers Bureau. I'm pretty sure the details will be flashed for you, and I'm pretty sure also that the email address and contact details for Speakers Bureau will be given to the participants here. All right. If you have any questions, give that to them. They'll send it to me, and I can answer it in a different forum, maybe a chat or something. Okay. So I don't know how Speakers Bureau is going to do that, but we're going to do that for you. So I can't go to all the details about agility, business agility. I can't go to all the details because this is only a 45-minute show, right? So let's move on to the next part. Okay. So now that we know the process, it's time to take the lead. So what type of leader would be best for this type of process? What type of leader would be best for this type of process? Let's look at the traits of an agile business leader. All right. So this is agile business leadership. That's the center right there. Okay. So let's look at the first trait. The first trait is hyper awareness. What is hyper awareness? Meaning, sa Pinoy, may sinasabi tayo, praning. No, but praning in a good way. Being praning sa lahat ng pwedeng mangyari. Go ahead, Jen.
Vigilant.
Yeah, vigilant. Very good. Okay. So it's bordering on paranoid. Okay. Hyper awareness is between being vigilant and being paranoid. Okay. Paranoid is already the extreme. It's too bad. Okay. But hyper awareness means, okay, a tidal wave might come. That's paranoia right there. Huh? Okay. But what if a tidal wave comes? Right? So what are we going to do about it? And that's basically one of the things that we have to understand. Hyper awareness is about being logical, logically paranoid. That's a good one. Logically, rationally paranoid. Okay? All right. And then the next one is making informed decision making. Okay? Meaning you still get all the information you need. Okay, you still get all the information you need, but you make decisions fast. Okay, and then finally, fast execution. Why? Because remember, the operative word is quick. Okay, quick. Okay, so if it's wait, hold on. Let me just get to this. Okay. So if it's a quick decision-making process, you have to be fast in your execution. And since you saw the agile process already, you know that the execution part is fast, right? You build the prototype. That's how you make it fast. But that's not the end of it. Let's look. An agile leader has to be visionary. Okay, they have to have vision. The thing that surrounds all of this is vision. And they also need to possess innovation. Like they have to be innovative. Then they also have to be engaged, meaning they just don't assign this work and leave it to the team. No, they have to be engaged. They have to, from time to time, not just from often, they have to follow up and be part of the process. And also they have to be open because, you know, we not everything we know is correct. Not everything we do is correct. Even if you're the leader, even if you're the CEO, maybe this young techie in your company has a good idea you haven't tried yet, and you have to be open to suggestions, open to corrections, open to a lot of things. Okay. Now there are three areas here that are blank, and those areas are the trouble areas. These are the areas, warning areas. These are areas that you have to watch out for. The first is between fast execution and informed decision making. If you have only those two traits, okay, you will be misinformed. Okay, why? Because you don't have your hyper awareness. You're just going to base your decisions on the data available without your hyper awareness. You might miss a lot of information and execute, which will make the process even longer. Okay, and we want to avoid being long. The next one is between hyper awareness and fast execution. Okay, you're a little bit paranoid. Okay, rationally paranoid, and you execute fast. Sometimes, if you just use these two traits, you become careless in your implementation. And finally, hyper awareness and informed decision making. Okay, you have all the information, you're hyper aware, but you don't execute quickly, the rollout will be slow and might be too late. Okay, so these are the traits of an agile leader. And basically, if you're looking for somebody to lead your agile team, you have to look for these traits. You have to look for these traits, or at least a complement of these traits in the team. Okay. So again, for any questions, suggestions, anything you'd like to know more about this, please contact Speakers Bureau. All right, so let's continue. Just one more. So now we have the agile leadership traits. How do we implement this in the current crisis? Okay, how do we do that? How do we apply the agile business process, agile teams, and agile leadership into the current crisis? Let's connect. So we're going to connect agile leadership with crisis management. Okay, so there's two different concepts, but now we put them together. Right. So before I continue, are there any questions? Jet, no questions?
I do have some questions
Sure,
though.
sure. Go ahead. Yeah, go
One
ahead.
of them is, how can this be fitted to the Filipino style of management and businesses here?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes. I'm
How do we
particularly
localize
concerned.
this?
Yes, that's
This
right.
is this is a universal. Basically, this is a universal um, concept. Okay. Universal concept, and since it's a universal concept, any culture can apply it. Okay? Any culture can apply it. You don't have to change your culture, but you have to stop beating around the bush. Now, the challenge for implementing it in the Philippines is that many Filipinos, I'm not saying all, okay, many Filipinos are are easily hurt. Okay,
Yeah.
but when you have to be quick, you don't have time to think about courtesy, or at least little time to think about courtesy, because you can't beat around the bush anymore. You have to be able to tell the truth. You have to be able to go to your people, or you have to be able to accept the truth also. When somebody comes to you and says, hey, I think we're doing it wrong, we should do it, maybe we should try it this way. Okay, that's what openness is about.
Yes.
And for many Filipinos, at least I know many Filipinos are already um, this way. But
Yeah.
some of us are not. Okay,
Yeah.
and this is a crisis. There's no time to get offended. We
Yeah.
don't
And
have the time.
there are
Yeah,
also
go ahead.
times when they're too conservative. Yeah.
Yeah, there are times that
Yeah,
they
they're
don't want
fixed
to
in
move
their ways
forward.
that they don't want
Yeah,
change.
yeah. There are times that happens, and sometimes I don't blame them. But change has to happen. Change has to happen because change has already happened to the market. Okay, and if we're not willing to change, if we're not willing to accept concepts and do things the way we're supposed to do, then it will probably be our downfall. Just an example before we go to this last part is, have you watched the show Vikings, Jet?
Nope.
No,
I
okay.
abhor so much violence.
Okay, the Vikings, yeah, they were ruthless, they were violent people, but here's one thing that they were agile. Okay, they were one of the most successful cultures in the entire world. They spread their reach throughout the entire world. Can you get that? They were probably some of the most disorganized people in the world, but the one thing they did have was the ability to adapt quickly. They went to different countries, met different challenges, and they adapted, and they were able to conquer. Yeah, they were violent, they were violent brutes. Okay, but if you look at how they did it, it's amazing. It's amazing how they did it. They didn't go into a place and then force their own methods there. No, they went to a place, they tried their methods, it failed, then they tried a different thing, then they tried a different thing. Usually 3 or 4 attempts before they actually were able to succeed. And they did it in a span of 1-2 days. This is agility. And this is basically something that we can learn from them. Of course, don't be violent. Okay, I'm not advocating that. Don't be violent and don't cut off people's heads. Okay, and don't steal. That's it. Okay, but let's look at how we can apply that in our current crisis. Okay, so now we have a crisis. The first thing we need to do is to survive. Do you agree? Of course you agree. Yeah. Hold on. So the first thing we need to do is to survive. So surviving. By the way, this is a concept I came up with. So what are the steps to surviving? Number one, first deploy your agile team for crisis control and management. Meaning, get your agile team on the ground immediately. Okay, so if you're in this current pandemic right now, you're suffering, your sales are going down, create that team now and get them to work now. Okay, get them on the ground. Next, document everything. Whatever you find, every process flow, everything that you're doing right, everything that you're doing wrong, everything that's happening in that crisis right now. Okay, document everything. And then next, engage your legal, medical, and other crisis players, meaning management, who are the important persons in a crisis. Like for this pandemic, people were laid off. You need a legal team. For this pandemic, you need testing. You need a medical team. For this pandemic, you need other crisis players. Okay, you need process experts. You need consultants. You need a person that knows what he's doing in and out of your business. Okay, so you need to get all these crisis players, these experts, on board immediately, early, to work with your agile team. Okay, and then the next stage, once you've done all that, the next stage can be done also really quickly. I call it reviving. Okay, so now that you're already surviving, it's time to revive the business. Okay, create a communication plan to appraise your stakeholders. And who are your stakeholders? These are your employees, these are your stockholders, these are your management team. This is everybody who has a stake in your company. Okay, suppliers, all of that. Okay, not to get political, but you remember ABS-CBN when it went down. Okay, when this happened to them, this is a crisis upon a crisis. Okay, when this crisis happened to them, the congressional hearings and their franchise. Okay, um, not their employees were not the only ones that suffered. Why? Because my daughter, their company is a supplier of ABS-CBN, and because they lost the account, now my daughter had to take a 50% pay cut. Okay, because they lost the account. That was probably their major account right there. Now, what I'm saying is that all of these people are your stakeholders. By the way, I wasn't trying to be political. I was just trying to make that as an example. Okay, I have no leaning either way. So, so all these people are your stakeholders, your suppliers, your customers, your employees, your management, your stockholders. All of them are your stakeholders. Now, you have to make sure that you communicate everything with your stakeholders. Because if you don't communicate with your stakeholders, then it'll be bad, really bad. And the good thing that ABS-CBN did was immediately they told the company of my daughter that okay, it looks like Congress might not approve our franchise, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to leave the company, but we're giving you a 3-month warning. So that helped the company of my daughter adjust to what was about to happen. And that's a very important part. Okay, communication, not only to the stakeholders, but if you also have public stakeholders, meaning if the public is also interested in what is going to happen to you, make sure you have communication with the general public. Okay, the next one, make sure that your insurances are all paid up and that you have enough to handle this crisis. Okay, make sure that you're working on your insurances immediately. And finally for reviving, manage and collate all information gathered and given. Meaning, this time, it's not only documenting. Once you've documented the information, you manage the information. Okay? You manage the information going out, you manage the information coming in, you collate, you gather, you group similar information with other information. Make sure you do that very precisely. And you have to have a person who's very, very meticulous in doing this, right? And then finally, thriving. This is where growth happens. So now you're riding the crisis, you're surviving, you're reviving everything. Now it's time to grow. It's time to build. So what do? Go back to planning. Do a SWOT analysis on your company's position. It's very important for you to do the SWOT analysis because now you have a different SWOT, for sure. You go back to the drawing board, basically. Next, solicit and provide strategic advices on possible next steps, meaning get consultants. Okay? Not only consultants, try to solicit maybe even from your own stakeholders, okay? From the public, I don't know, okay? What your company is, try to solicit strategic advice, and when you come up with strategies, try to give advices on next steps to everybody. And then the very final step, identify your key learning for everything that has happened to you. Okay, identify your key learning to help the organization grow and evolve. So now the crisis will be able to give you seeds for a new type of company, one that will weather more crisis than it already has. So before I continue, any questions? Again, you can PM. Wait. Let me check in the chat, okay? Because
Wait,
yeah, go
hi
ahead. Go
Kuya
ahead.
Boom. Remember please don't forget to comment or to send a PM to our page so that we
Mhm.
can answer all your questions since this
Yeah.
is recorded. And we
Yep.
would appreciate it so much to have you ask questions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll
Remember that
answer.
no question is silly. It's just a matter of being courageous to ask questions so that you
Exactly.
learn. And in fact, I'm learning a lot right now.
Good. Do you have
Yeah.
any questions?
Um, yeah, I have just a few questions.
Go
I'd
ahead.
also like to know if this is appropriate for all employees to adopt because I believe that all employees can be leaders in their own right.
When uh, when when you say agile leadership, yes, employees can take the initiative to adopt this. But basically, when you're talking about a crisis, this is a management initiative. Okay.
I understand.
All right. So what you do is to make sure your team is agile. Okay. Now, if you're an employee, you can initiate something. I don't know how far you'll get by doing that, but nobody's stopping you from initiating anything. Go to management, seek approval for whatever you're going to do. If you have a good idea, don't hold it back. Okay, because the only thing that's going to hold us back is if you do nothing. Okay,
Ooh.
even bad ideas are welcome right at this point.
Mm. Yeah,
Okay,
because the problem with us Filipinos is that we're afraid of rejection. We're afraid of criticism. That's why sometimes we don't put our best foot forward when it comes to proposing something. Or if we propose something and then it gets rejected, we become disheartened and crestfallen.
well, don't worry. Ipipinoy ko na. Wag naman pusong mamon. Okay?
Uh,
We're all trying to work for something greater than ourselves. So let's not be offended by trivial things like that. If you want to grow, then make sure we grow. Okay? And you have one more question, Jet. I'm allowing it.
yeah. Okay. Just one more question.
Go ahead.
Is this applicable? I mean, agile business leadership even to small enterprises, like ones with 4 employees or even 10 employees?
Actually, it's not only applicable, it is recommended. Because the only way you're going to beat the big businesses is to become agile.
Oh,
All right. So
a lot of
I'll leave
wisdom.
yeah, I'll leave you with the last slide, okay? It's a story, by the way. And here's the story. Well, there was a long drought, okay? And in the midst of a long drought, there were two farmers.
Two
Both
farmers.
of them, yeah, both of them prayed for rain. Okay? Now, what's that background?
Um, no,
Hold
it's
on.
just it's just my nephew.
All right, all right. Okay, so um, there were two farmers who prayed for rain. Now, despite the long period without any rain, one farmer still prepared the field. He still plowed, he still planted, he still tilled the soil, okay? And the other one did not. Now, when the rain finally came, who do you think benefited the most? The one who prepared or the one who didn't? That's something for you, the audience, to answer yourself. Okay? I um I hope you learned something from all this, and I hope that whatever it is whatever it is you want to learn, you learned, you can tell us, you can share. If you have questions, again, we'll be posting this. Comment on it. PM Speakers Bureau. Communicate with us, and we'll get the answers to you as quick as we can. Hey Jet, how did you like this session? Did you enjoy it?
Yes, very much. In fact, I learned a lot and realized that it's never too late, and it's never bad to learn more about management, especially now that I'm running two sister companies. They're small training businesses. So
Mm-hmm.
even though it's hard, I, s- I still want to learn and I still want to grow. Yeah, so that I can become more competent. Yes. And it's also a matter of learning how to be quick, but we can't do it alone because in every endeavor it should involve more than one person.
Mhm.
if
Yeah,
it's if it's more, it's better.
it depends on how big the endeavor is actually. Anyway, so in in ending all of this, I'd like to say thank you for listening. Thank you for paying attention. I hope to hear from you guys soon. And what do we say usually? Yeah, I should have a catchphrase. I should have a catchphrase.
It's all right.
Hit like, subscribe, and I don't know. That's for YouTube. I don't know. All right. So
Yeah.
guys, see you next time. All right.
Thank you very much, Kuya Boom. And please do not forget, everyone, before we leave, that our next episode will feature the great Mr. Jerry Plana. So please watch out for it
No,
this
Jerry
August 12th.
Pira.
Yeah. And do not, okay, don't forget to
Yeah,
share
Jerry Plana.
this video
Sorry.
and other videos with all other people you know so that they'll be more inspired and they'll be more empowered. Again, this is your host, Jet Ramos, and it's been my pleasure to host this episode of The Leader's Edge. And I hope that as we progress, we become better leaders and better persons. Thank you very much. And before we before we leave, yes, we would like to thank the Southeast Asian Speakers and Trainers Bureau Incorporated for this show. We'd also like to thank Mr. Dino Hermosissima Santos for the technical assistance, Miss Dina Loomis for her support, and all my other co-hosts for their inspiration and their advice, and of course, you, dear viewers, for making this show very possible. Once again, I'm your host, Jed Ramos, saying goodbye for now, but we'll be back next week on The Leader's Edge. Thank you and good night.